all-time rushing yards of 4,106 yards on 735 rushing attempts. He had 17 100-yard games, 4 200-yard games, and 34 rushing touchdowns. He is tied with Hugh McElhaney for the most rushing yards per game at 89.3. He is the only Huskies running back to rush for 1,000 yards in 3 consecutive seasons. He's an all-Pac-10 in 1992, 93, and 94. In 1995, he was drafted first round with the Oakland Raiders. He was with the Raiders from 1995 to the year 2000. He wore the number 26. His total career was 6 years, and during that 6 years, he rushed for 4,792 yards, 4.9 yards per carry, 12 touchdowns, led the NFL in rushing yards per attempt in 1996 with 5.8, and then he retired to do something even more awesome. He is now a pastor at the Well Christian Community Center in Dublin. He's actually baptized some of the guys on the Raiders team and led them to the Lord. He has 4 children, and he's been married 15 years. It is my pleasure to introduce Napoleon Kaufamn.
Wow, thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here. I've had the privilege of coaching in this league the last few years, and I tell you, it's just an awesome opportunity to get to know wonderful people in the Bay Area and in the Tri-Valley area. And so I'm just thrilled to be here. You know, and as I was listening to all the stats and all the stuff, you know, I want to talk to you just real quick, especially the young people, about commitment. And the reason why I say this is because I can remember my freshman year in college, growing up in a small town, Lompoc, California, got a full ride scholarship. I was at practice. My coach was Don James. And we were out at practice during training camp, getting ready for the season. And, you know, I was leaving my home, leaving my comfort, leaving mama. So I was a little bit sad about that. And we went up there, and I can remember we were at practice one day. It was hot. I was a freshman on the team, so basically everybody just treated me like, you know, like dirt. And I was going back to catch a punt. And I went back to catch this punt, and the ball was coming, and it was kind of waving, and I got underneath the ball. And then all of a sudden, at the last minute, I misread the ball, and the ball hit me on the top of my head. Bam! It shot up, and as soon as it shot up, somebody hit me. Bam! So I'm on the ground. And while I'm on the ground, my head coach comes over to me, and he says, "Get up! Get up right now! Son, get up! This isn't California. Get up!" He just started yelling at me. And so, needless to say, I got up and I went over to the side, and I started having what I would call a pity party. And so I sat there and man, I don't know if I want to be here. You know, I don't know about this, man. You know, my mama, I don't miss my mama's biscuits, and they're not here. And all this stuff started going through my mind. And I went back to my room during training camp, and I sat there. And I still had these thoughts in my mind. Maybe I should have went to USC. Maybe I should have went to UCLA. Maybe I should have went to Cal. I could have been home. I could have drive home, be home in 3 hours. You know, I started going through all this stuff. So I called my mom. And my mom, as I started pouring out my heart about how I wanted to come home, she said, "Son, you cannot come home. You made a commitment to those people up there. I don't care how hard it gets. I don't care how tough it gets. You made a commitment." And you know, that has always stuck with me, because I made it through that tough time, ended up going forth, and our team, we went on to win the national championship, and almost returned the opening kickoff in the Rose Bowl, and all kinds of stuff. Had a Hall of Fame career for the University of Washington, ended up getting drafted. All those things, they happen. But I want to say this to you guys. Young men, If I had not stuck to my commitment, I cannot say that I would be standing before you here today. I want to encourage every single person that's under the sound of my voice, because it's not just about football, but the commitments that we make in life. Are we willing to stick through with the commitments, even through the tough times? Practice is hard. Your coach is in your face. You don't want to run the lap. You don't want to do this. But at the end of the day, you made a commitment. So you want to follow through with the commitment. I want to say this one more time. If I had not made a decision to listen to my mom in that moment, buckle up my chin strap, put my pants on, get back out there and keep working and grinding away, I cannot say that I would be standing before you today. Young man, whatever it is that you're going to do in life, whatever commitment that you make, follow through with your commitment. And I guarantee on the other side of your commitment, you'll have great success in life. Thank you guys for having me today. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, Napoleon.
It is my belief, it is my pleasure that we are at the point that we've all worked for the last couple of weeks.